Hey folks, Lester here, and today we are prepping for hurricane and flooding here at the Plum Grove property. What I've done so far is I've moved the canoe up close to Ellie and Megan's home. I've got them a couple of paddles. I'll sit over here, and so since no one is choosing to evacuate, and that's fine, that is everyone's decision, I want them to at least have a way out in a just-in-case scenario. And I think that we're better safe than sorry. And so I completely understand the fact of when you watch the weather forecast and it doesn't call necessarily for evacuations, not even mandatory. I think that everyone's going to be fine. I really do. But I tell you what, I still feel like it's on my heart to do all that I can to guarantee that. So I think you would agree. Anyway, it'll be a fun video. Y'all come with me. So we are on our way to the sanctuary, the Plum Grove property. Hurricane Beryl is going to make landfall tomorrow. We are already starting to see some of the early outer bands of that storm hitting us today. And you can see the sprinkle here on the windshield. Now listen, we are not as concerned about what can come from Hurricane Beryl with the winds. We are concerned about what may happen with some of the lingering rain as those bands circle around. And if it's not a fast-moving storm, then sometimes the rains can linger. So what we're going to do today is head over to the sanctuary, and I'm going to work with LE. We're going to do some things with the hay. We're going to prep everything as far as the generator and several other things. You guys come with us. Let me talk you through the process. And just know, my friends, that at my age and living where I've lived my entire life, we have seen a number of hurricanes. We've had some direct hits. We've had some that have, where we've been inside the cone or the area of the impacted areas. And we sort of have been here and done that plenty of times. So I don't want you to worry. We're not overly worried. Our biggest concern with the Plum Grove property is flooding. And that's what we'll be addressing today. You guys come with me. There'll be a lot of fun. And I want to talk you through a couple of the procedures for prepping for this kind of weather. We are just about to enter Plum Grove, and you can still see all of the remnants of the last flood that came through here all over the ground. They have not cleaned up this area. And look at there. You got a lot of rain happening over there already. Friends, I'm at a little bit of a dilemma of how much I can actually do here. Oh, here comes the rain. I'm at a dilemma with how much to actually do here. And I'm going to tell you what happened last time. Everyone knows that my son, Ellie and Megan, we have put them in charge of the sanctuary. And I'm trying to play more of a supporting role. I think that during the last floods in May, I did too much. I think that I went maybe too much and did not leave a lot of the decisions up to Ellie and Megan. I kind of like stepped in and took over. That's just kind of the dad in me, and also the fact that I've been there and done that in me. And I forced some things to happen. Maybe you might call them my executive decisions or whatever. And I should not have done that. I know that it kind of put a little bit of a wedge between Ellie and I as far as how we manage and we run the farm. So today I'm going to really do as minimal as necessary. I will say this, I did message Ellie and Megan in a group text, and I says, hey, I'm here for support. They've known about the hurricane and its possible effects for she's at least a week now. But I do think that Ellie and Megan kind of read what everyone else on the hill's doing. And so they're not really jumping to action right now. And I don't say that I blame them, because none of the forecasts are as severe as what we've seen before. Even if we do get, between 5 and 10 inches of rain, that's not going to affect the river flooding. It's only going to be those little flash floods that we deal with. But I'm in Plum Grove now. Gonna make my way to the sanctuary, but like I said, I'm gonna be real cautious in how I proceed and what I do, how much I do, and I want to leave it up to Ellie and Megan. Look at here, another example. I know it's wet, but look at here, this house over here. All of the debris. That's what happens when someone's home is flooded. I've experienced that firsthand, which is why I'm a lot more cautious. Same as my dad, same as Uncle Dan and Jake. But Ellie has not. Brienne has not. They've only seen it secondhand, through the eyes of a parent. So we will get over there and do what I can. But like I said, I'm going to try to keep it basic. Only the things that I know have to be done. And I will be here to guide and advise Ellie and Megan every step of the way. I will offer any resource I have and support. But I'm going to let them make the adult decisions on this. I think that I have to, and I think that you all would agree with me. I'll tell you what, I was thinking about this. It would just be, guys, it would be just catastrophic if Plum Grove property here gets another flood. I mean, it's only been a couple of weeks and they've just got all their fencing semi put back in place. Everything's kind of starting to get cleaned up around the pond and all the fences. And it would just break my heart for these guys, not just for Ellie and Megan, but for everybody over here. If in fact they do have more issues this fast. The pond has just now kind of got back into banks. And I don't know. I look around and I see how much work has been done over the last 2 months since the May flooding. And it's just now coming back together, y'all. And I would just feel so bad for them if something else happens. But, you can't control Mother Nature. I hate the fact that it's becoming obviously more frequent, these floods. But what can you do? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull in here, open the gate up, and get a few things going over here, you guys. I see a few packages as well. We'll grab those while we're here. And we're going to talk you through every step of what we're going to do for our prep. So a lot of people have been messaging and talking a little bit about the what ifs here at Plum Grove property with flooding. A lot of concerns have been focused on the hay. Guys, it is true that in that May flood recently, water did come across the barn about 2 feet inside the barn. And if that does happen, then we will absolutely be in trouble of losing some hay. We will. But there's nowhere else I can move all of the hay. The bottom rows of hay will absolutely be lost if water does come across this hill. But like I said, I cannot control that. What I'm going to do today is take 3 of these rolls right over here. These first 3 rolls, I'm going to move them inside the goat barn, and I'm going to flip them over to where the goats can jump on top of them if they have to. That will give the goats a nice 4 foot or so extra clearance off the ground. And goats, believe it or not, they can jump that high very easily. And I will set those rolls of hay inside the Little's barn over here so the goats can come inside, and if they choose to go up higher, if they need to go up higher, they have a place to get up. So that will be my first step. I'm actually concerned right now about why Ziggy's over there in the high grass and not moving. I'm going to walk over there and check on him first. I see Rooster's over here. Rooster's been a really good dog to them. And of course, these 3 munchkins over here. Lord, y'all are not even bottle babies anymore. Y'all are no longer eating off the bottle. So how come they don't stay inside the pasture? How come y'all don't just stay inside the pasture where y'all belong? Huh? You're so cute and I love y'all so much, but y'all should need to stay inside the pasture. And then, oh, Nate, do you mind if I just make my video real fast? Listen, Ernie and Okie are going to be fine. Guys, like I said, I know that the only threat here as of right now, is they call it training. I don't need all that, Nate. They call it training. When clouds from a hurricane will literally train not train like, but hook onto each other, and they just kind of keep banding around, and it continues to drop more and more and more rain on a particular location. And that is the fear of this Plum Grove property. Oh, he's fine. He's just laying there with the geese. I didn't see him at first. He was just kind of had his head tucked underneath them. Oh my goodness gracious. Here's that new piggy. Here's that new piggy trying to get out, and he's out. I've not had a chance to say hi to you yet. You're such a cute little fella. What is your name, little one? What is your name, little guy? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, everyone is so loud over here. Oh, hello everybody. They're already in the barn trying to stay dry. Hi, Rooster. Such a good boy to protect everybody. You're such a good protector. Everyone loves you so much. I know I do. And then where's that little sheep? Where's that little ram? All right, let me get some work done before it starts raining too much heavier on me. I'm gonna grab my tractor, grab these 3 rolls of hay, and we will move them inside that barn. We are waiting for the light to go off for the golf club. All right. So everything else is looking nice. What happens with flooding, you have 2 types of flooding over here. You have your flash flooding. Oh, hush it up. You have your flash flooding that comes from across the neighborhood. And in a flash flood, you have lots of water coming out of this neighborhood, and it flows down their canals until it gets to that little tree line over here where the canal stops and it goes into a very winding, tiny little creek. Well, you have so much water coming out of the neighborhood, the creek cannot handle it. And so it begins to push water across the pasture over here. It'll come along the pasture. It'll finally come up Joanne's driveway. It'll come across this little flat over here. It'll come around the front of the property here through the pond. It'll completely encircle the sanctuary home. It'll completely encircle this place. And if that happens, you're pretty much trapped on an island to yourself. Now, during Tropical Storm Imelda, the water did come up and cover the entire pasture here. It covered the entire yard. It did not go inside the barn house. We were blessed for that. That extra 8 inches of slab kept the barn house safe. Thank you, Lord. I told Ellie and Megan that might be a similar scenario based on the amount of rain we're going to get. I don't know that for a fact, but I did tell them, I think your animals are fine. I don't think you need to move the chickens and move the goats or move anything else, as long as they have a place to go, and that you guys are aware of, if things do get bad, you have to open those gates. You open those gates. You never leave an animal entrapped in a pasture. Mother Nature has a way, guys, to take care of itself, and they will find their way out and hopefully find their way to safety. But you have to open those pastures. I says bring them onto your porch. Your porch is another 3 feet off the ground, and so those are all options for a just-in-case scenario. All right, well, I'm hoping that the hay we put out will help a little bit, and they're going to be fine over here. I want to thank y'all for watching and for being patient as we go by and prep all the properties. I really do admire Ellie and Megan for wanting to do this on their own. Guys, that's something that every one of us have had to deal with at some point in our life, trying to find our independence from our parents. And so there's nothing wrong with Ellie and Megan wanting to be in charge of the prep for this flood. And if this flood does happen, they want to be in charge of taking the animals to where they need to go, not having someone come by and dictate what's going to happen for them. And if mistakes are made, friends, mistakes are made. That happens. Mistakes are made. Sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes. We all know that already. So we can offer advice. We can give suggestions. The same we offer advice to everybody. Some will take it. Some take pieces of your advice, and some completely ignore everything and do their own thing. So that's up to each and every individual, and there's nothing that we can do to control that. But listen, things are always funner and gooder when you have people that you love and care about, and you can share things with them.
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.